We are already at the end of the scripture. So we'll continue from the epilogue. We finished the epilogue, but there is one portion which is about the 24 principal gurus of Lord Dattatreya. It's a most beautiful one. Let us learn what it means to us and how we apply in our own life the teachings of this great principal gurus of Lord Dattatreya. Very good morning, Jai Shri Krishna Guru. Thank you for joining Shri Guru Charitra Satsang. Wishing you all a very happy Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namah, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah, Om Shri Saraswataya Namah, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namah, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namah. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Guru Charitra Satsang. Lessons of wisdom from nature. It will be of interest here to know that Lord Dattatreya says that we will have to, however, learn initially the lessons of wisdom from nature itself, nature herself. Who is the best teacher? He cites his own example to illustrate this truth and tells us from whom he had learnt and what each one of them teaches us. Just imagine Lord Dattatreya, the incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna himself. He is actually learning these lessons from the nature. Why should he learn? He is the one from whom even the Mother Nature is emanated. Is there anything for him to learn? But why do these great gurus, despite being the divine Lord Almighty, have to go through this process of learning is very important. Why? Because if they don't set an example, then how will the rest of the world will follow them? Or how will we follow to imbibe these beautiful truth and the most important lessons for a righteous living and for walking the path of dharma. That is why it is important, and to live a life of God pleasing. We say you have to live God pleasing life. What does it mean to being a good self, to be loving, kind, compassionate, benevolent, generous, caring, giving and forgiving? All these are the qualities of being a good human being. Forget about the divine. Divinity will come along once you practice these qualities of goodness, which is sattvic in nature, which is the full of sattva guna. So, Lord Dattatreya himself learnt from his 24 principal gurus of Mother Nature. So, let us begin today and understand what it means, and let us take at least a little bit of that to be able to personally apply in our own life. First one is earth. Earth is the symbol of forbearance, titiksha. The earth teaches us the virtue of forbearance, that is endurance, by its own supreme example. It bears with unmatched and unexcelled patience all the injuries we inflict upon it. And furthermore, it does only good to us always by providing crops, fruits, etc. It looks after us, our very sustenance, in spite of our doing so much harm and injury to it. Oh my God. You know what? Lesson 1 failed straight away. This is one lesson you can live for rest of your life, and you would have reached a spiritual realization like that. You don't even have to put any more effort. What does this earth teaches us? It talks about symbol of forbearance, titiksha. What does that mean? The earth teaches us the virtue of forbearance and endurance by its own supreme example. It bears with unmatched and unexcelled patience all the injuries we inflict upon it. This is exactly what my Krishna Guruji will teach. He'll say, be your good self. Even if the other person is doing something bad to you, harm to you, if there is some unfavorable events happening to you, someone is insulting, somebody is saying something to you, you need to forbear. What does that mean? And most important, even after they doing all that, what should we do? We should be our good self and do only good to everybody, and we should not utter anything bad from our mouth. See, this is a very profound and beautiful lesson. But you know what happens? Given that we are in the age of Kali Yuga, that is Kali's Yuga, what do we do is we get into anger. How dare somebody say something to us? How dare, that person speak to us like this? How dare that person, does harm to us? We go on that tirade, and what happens? Our anger rises, our blood boils, and the quality of goodness is already gone out of the window. We are no longer in Sattva Guna, we are already become a tamasic human being. And in tamasic nature, all you will experience is hurt, anger, ego, that hurt ego. Actually, the deflated ego is even more dangerous than the inflated ego. So that hurt ego will say, look, somebody hurt you, you're the victim, you're the victim. It's constantly going to keep saying this to you. Look, that person is doing this to you. But you know what? When you show your kindness, when you show your benevolence and goodness, with goodness you can change this world. That love is like, you can pass on to everybody. That is what the love spreads, the goodness will spread. Imagine in this universe there can be all sorts of things, but the fragrance of sweetness, that goodness, it's contagious. It will spread on its own. So what is that you need to carry? You be that Kamal. Kamal is lotus flower, so beautiful. Why has Lord Shri Krishna been described as lotus flower? Lotus flower grows, in the muck, in the dirt and muck, and where there is a lot of filth, but it shines beautifully. It's a representation. And how do we live in this world? There can be all sorts of people, and all kinds of things are happening around you, but you don't have to become like anybody. Can you shine standing alone? Can you shine being in that muck and being that Lord Shri Krishna yourself, like Lord Shri Krishna, and like that lotus flower? Can you be just standing out and spreading your glory, your goodness, your grandeur? And that is contagious, your love. And once you live that, you will inflict everyone with that contagious nature of yours. That is why my Krishna Guruji keeps saying, doesn't matter what the other person do, why don't you be your good self? Is this a bad teaching? Is any guru teaching you such bad things? Of course not. Why can't we learn this good teaching which our Gurudev or anybody has imparted to us, right from Bhagavad Gita, Uddhav Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, you name it. I can just rattle off endless scriptures, Sai Baba's Poti to Guru Granth Sahib Ji, or you name it, Guru Charitra. Everything is giving one lesson: be your good self. First lesson itself we have failed here. Forbearance. Do we forbear? No. We get very angry. If somebody is saying something, we get so upset about it. Why should you get upset? You know what my Krishna Guruji will teach us, and you should go listen to all of his satsangs. In that, he'll always say one very important lesson. Please remember, the other person is not getting this knowledge. But for those who are getting this knowledge, it is a must that we live this lesson. The material worldly people are ignorant beings. That is why Jesus Christ said, Father, please forgive them, for they do not know. They are ignorant beings. They don't know what they are doing, what they are committing. They don't understand. So it is for us to have that compassion. Imagine if somebody doesn't understand that the person is being used by somebody else, but that person has been blindly letting themselves get into this, getting to that situation. Why? Because blind belief, blind faith, all that is happening. But when you go and tell that person, no, look, you're doing something wrong, the person is not going to like. Even when we know that person is going to fall in that ditch and you want to save him, your intentions are good. But when you go and say those words, the other person thinks you're the enemy, not somebody who's going to do harm to that other person. But this is the way how the universe and how the nature has been made. People don't understand. When there is the real God, when there is real and Maya, when God himself comes and stands in front of you, when there is a truth that is there, between the truth and unreal, 99.9999% of this people, of this human, the world, entire world, the people in this world will only choose Maya. because that is how this world is being programmed. To get the grace of the God, it is not so easy. Remember, we studied some beautiful lessons in the last few chapters. In that, in that, Dattatreya has mentioned how it is important to have earned that merit from your previous birth, many past life of yours. You must have done something good. That good merit, that is the account of why you meet the Guru, why you get the grace of the Guru, why you, and most importantly, to being in the abode of the Guru is like, it's a bumper prize. It's not easy at all to get that opportunity. Only very few people have been given, and only with the grace of the Lord himself. Or, in earlier chapters in Guru Charitra, Lord Dattatreya himself has said that it's only with the grace of the Guru will you be able to listen to his satsang, you'll be listening to his teachings. But without his own calling, you cannot have an audience with the Guru. So it is not so easy to get that audience. But when he himself is giving you that, that audience, why don't you learn? See, whether it is directly or indirectly doesn't matter. If the lesson is coming for you, that lesson is meant for you. It is not meant for the other person. If it was for the other person, that other person would have listened to it. And this is the truth we need to understand. Many a time we think, oh, this lesson should be listened by the other person. So my Krishna Guruji will say, he'll always say that if the other person, if that lesson was for the other person, that person would have been right sitting in front of me, not you. Sir, it is for you, sir. That's what he will say. This is how our ego will make us believe and talk. So most important, what is the thing here Lord Dattatreya is teaching? He's teaching, imagine how much we abuse Mother Nature. This earth is abused. We injure the earth. We cause so much harm. But has the earth ever stopped giving us crops? The food she continuously serves us. Selfless service. That is called selfless service. Not expecting anything from anybody. She's bearing herself out. We exploit the Mother Nature. We exploit this earth so much. We do a lot of wrong things. We cause so much harm. We cause so much injury. Yet the earth is forbearing. She bears everything and continues to do her duty, swadharma, selflessly. She doesn't stop producing crops for us. You sow the plant, you just water it, and she continuously, makes all the effort, best possible effort to give you that produce. Isn't she so kind? Isn't she so forbearing? That is called forbearance. Today my Krishna Guruji will say, it's okay. He'll teach me one thing. Imagine, people don't understand. If they understand, they will not speak like that. They are going to speak a lot of things because their mind is talking. You are getting this lesson. You have a Guru. You understand the truth. So why are you expecting that other person to behave in the way you want him to be? And then he'll say, it's okay, just forgive and have patience, tolerance, forbearance. You have to forbear. We need to have thick skin, double, triple, 10 layers of thick skin. It should not affect you at all. It should not even touch. Because please understand, there is no tatya in what anything is happening around us. There is no truth in that. There is no sat or asat. Everything is falsehood. Because this universe is the creation of Lord's Maya. And Maya is unreal. See, the day you understand, I am not this body, I am the spirit. It is a very tough lesson to understand that, that adhyatmic truth. And where you know that you are the spirit and you are not this body. It's about, we're talking about non-duality. So, I am that Bara Brahman. That is the truth you need to realize. I am not this human being who I have made myself into. So if someone says it affects me, if something happens, I'm getting upset. Why should you? You have to be in the perfect centeredness. So, where can you find Lord Shri Krishna? Lord Shri Krishna is found in the state of equanimity. And that is called the blissful state. He neither sways for good or bad. He understands. Neither is the truth. The truth is, God is, love is, and knowledge is. There is nothing that I know, the I cannot know. That is the truth you need to understand. Knowledge just shines on its own. Knowledge is self-effulgent. And in knowledge, you will understand the truth in the way in the light, every object will shine the truth. In the light of knowledge, you will understand the truth about every object, and then you will not react. Then you will not say anything bad to anybody. On the contrary, you will have compassion to the core, and you will be very kind to everybody, understanding their pain and trying to solve as much as possible, like this Mother Earth. You will endure everything that they say, even if they're saying something is bad. You will be able to forbear. The word is forbearance. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna has said, what is the qualities of those who are on the sattvic, in the sattva guna? The first, and how do you attain Lord Shri Krishna? So one of the qualities that you need to have is, first one comes is fearlessness. Second comes forbearance. Why fearlessness? Is because you don't have to fear anything in this world. When you're walking the path of dharma, when you're on the side of the truth, there is nothing for you to fear. That is number one. Why should you fear? Only if somebody is telling lies, they're stealing, they're committing some sins, that is when you will have to fear. But when you're not doing anything and you're on the path of the truth and dharma and following the righteousness, why should you fear? So you become absolute fearless. Then when you're fearless, and the knowledge will come to you, the right knowledge, the knowledge about how do you understand the world in the right manner. And what does the Guru does? The Guru removes your imperfections of the material world and perfects your spiritual understanding. He gives you the spiritual perfection and removes the material worldly imperfections. And that is when you become fearless, and then you will face life head on. And to face life head on, the next quality is forbearance. Why forbearance? Because we need to be able to take it in our stride, everything, and endure, tolerate. We have to be tolerant. What is Sanatan Dharma's core foundation? The principle on which the Sanatan Dharma is based is tolerance. And tolerance is one thing that is missing in us today. We are not tolerant towards anything. We are very bad with each other in this universe. We are least tolerant people today. The tolerance is not there at all. Early on, why there was we are all very happy and goodness. Imagine there was a time when we were all living in a joint family. Everybody were living harmoniously. But where is the joint family today? It's not there. Everybody is living independently. Forget about even family. There is no family. Today, even the children want to have their own independent life because they feel it's burden to live with their parents or relatives, husband, wife. Everybody is seeking their independence. What is this, the independence they are trying to seek? They want to live the way life like a pig, get up at whatever time, do whatever they feel like. Nobody should be there to question them. That is the independence they are seeking. The real independence is different. The real independence is taking responsibility of your life, empowering yourself through knowledge, doing your swadharma and duties, and most importantly, serving this universe selflessly, and then taking responsibility of this universe as well. Are we independent? No, we are not. The independence that you are talking is completely different in the material world. The material world independence is, oh, I don't want to be married, or I want to get married, I want to live independently with my wife and child, or everybody has a definition of what independence means to them. Somebody's independence is, I'm going to drink every day, it's my liberty, it's my right, I earn the money and I will drink. So that is their independence. So somebody will say, I will go and have n number of girlfriends, boyfriends. That is my independence. Today, nobody should dare question me. So everybody's definition of independence is different. So the independence we are talking in the spiritual term is to empowering the God within you, where you understand the truth, you take responsibility of your life, you're doing your duties, Nishkama karma. You're going to perform selfless action where no karma accrues to you. You're performing your duties to the highest of your ability, giving your heart and soul to that, not bothering about what is the end result going to be, whether you're going to be successful or whether you're going to fail. It doesn't affect you. That is what you are going to do. And most important, then you're doing service to the divine Lord Almighty. Most important, what you're going to do is you will walk the path of dharma, and the Lord is always on your side. And what else you will do? You will do the duty, the purpose for why you have taken this human birth. Serve the purpose of the divine Lord. And most important purpose is what? To attain God realization. That is the truth. Then you're not going to run after lust and greed. Please remember, lust and greed is very dangerous. In this, Lord Dattatreya is going to talk how lust is dangerous, greed is dangerous. How should you live a life? You have to live a life like lotus leaf, like Lord Sri Krishna, untouched by the water. What does that mean again? Living in detachment. Detachment means what? See, you have your parents, you're born certain family, whether you like it or not, you have taken birth in that family. See, it's not about likes and dislikes. For whatever reason, we are born there, we have taken birth there, we just have to do our duties in the state of detachment. And how does detachment work? If your father might be saying something, your mother might be saying something, she might be doing, he might be doing whatever they feel like. That should not make you become angry. When you get angry or you feel mighty pleased, good about your parents, both is the root cause of detachment, which means you're attached to them. Sorry, root cause of attachment, which means you are still attached to them. If something affects you, whatever your father is saying, your mother is saying, your husband, brother, anybody, your bosses, means you're attached to that individual, that object, that place, everything. So what is Lord Sri Krishna saying? He is saying, or Lord Dattatreya is teaching us to perform everything in detachment. Whether somebody calls you names, says insults you, doesn't matter. Please understand, Lord Sri Krishna is on your side. Why fear when I am here? Can anything befall? So you don't even have to open your mouth and say anything bad. On the contrary, just listen. Don't even listen. Don't even let those things come into your ears also, or you just take it here and leave it here. That's why 2 years have been given. But when you're learning the spiritual, both here, please listen intently. It has to absorb what you are learning. That is how it is. And all those loose talks, don't even let that get to you at all. It doesn't matter. And when you live in the state of detachment, let me tell you, the Lord is with you, because then you have that perfect equipoise of mind, and then you will perform your duties to the highest of your ability. Then you are not going to feel, oh look, my father is favoring my son, my brother, my sister. You're not going to feel any of those, oh my mother is taking their side, my mother is with someone else. It doesn't matter to you. Please remember, who is your real father? The Lord Almighty. Lord Sri Krishna is your father, mother. When you have such a great father and mother, why are you bothering to this petty human beings through whose womb you have been born? How should it matter? Just do your duty. Please remember, the Lord will never let any calamity befall his devotees. When you are devoted to him, you think anybody can even do anything harm to you? You think your brother or sister can take away that wealth and run away? No way. The Lord will ensure. I'm telling you, this is my promise which Lord Sri Krishna has given. No calamity shall befall my devotee. That is the promise Lord makes. So you make him everything. No, you make him your parent. Why are you getting attached to these material worldly people? Doesn't matter. Follow exactly what he teaches you and do in that manner. You don't have to fight. There is a method. He's a master strategist. Learn that strategy from him and apply this in your real life, and then it will become very beautiful. And forbear everything. Be very kind. Let me tell you, it's taken me many years, 12 plus years with my Krishna Guruji, to understand the truth about each of these words. It is not so easy to understand spirituality, because till you don't practice sadhana, till you do not apply those lessons, till you don't practically get that experience, the direct experience of the knowledge learned, till you don't get that, you cannot understand the meaning. I can explain to you in different ways, but till you yourself don't get the direct experience of this teaching, you will not understand what it means to forbear. So what it means to forbear is, see, practically there are going to be, objects, people, everything that is going to disturb me, that which is going to affect me. And those things will come in front of you dying, a dozen more times. It's going to keep coming to you till the time you don't overcome that object, that people, whatever that object could be. It could be place, it could be a person, it could be some things, anything. Till the time you don't overcome that object of disturbance, that object will keep coming in front of you. You know why it comes? Because you have to attain that state of equanimity. Nothing should disturb you. Why should anything or anybody disturb you? Why should someone else occupy the space of your mind? Your mind should be completely occupied with the name of the Divine Lord, just chanting of his name, singing his glories and bhajans. That is all you have to fill your heart with, your mind with. If music is your your compassion, if doing if working is your passion, or somebody has something else as their passion, you have to give your heart and soul to that. See God in it. Music will flow. Very simply, this yesterday my Krishna Guruji was telling me, why don't you start condensing the Sat Charitra in a regional language? So I was reluctant. I said, look, I only know a spoken Tamil, or a spoken language like Kannada. I can speak in a nice manner, but I might not know the technical words which I have to be able to explain. He said, doesn't matter. Just try. It will flow from your mouth. Why are you, even if you make mistake, doesn't matter, but try. That doing is important. So don't say it's not possible. But when you do it for the purpose of the God, you know what? It's so beautiful. You feel contented, truth in your life. There is nothing more to achieve. When you serve the purpose of the Divine Lord, everything will work. His universe is with you. It will open up everything for you, but you have to dedicate yourself. You have to commit yourself. My Krishna Guruji has many a time said to me, I will not give anything easy to you, but you have to fight. The day you stand up and fight, my universe will back you. My grace is there with you. My universe will work magic for you. This is Sat Vachan. I am telling you, my Lord is with me in every fight of me. And please remember, where there is Shri Krishna and Arjuna, the Arjuna is you and me. This body is the Arjuna, and we have to fight our life. We have to fight for everything in our life. And fighting doesn't mean you have to go and kill somebody. Please don't take it in the literal sense. Fight means you have to overcome your own inadequacies. You have empowered the God within you, that which your mind says, oh, I am incapable, I don't want to face something, people. We are all those yellow chickens at some time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that. We want to chicken out, It's not like that. You have to face life head on. Face the same people head on. What is there to fear? So when the Lord is with you, that's what Lord says. Where there is Lord Shri Krishna and Arjuna, there is victory, grandeur, glory, righteousness, goodness will prevail. That is what Mahabharata is all about. Fighting for your right, fighting for the righteous manner, fighting for adharma. You cannot let adharma happen in this world. You have to stand up and fight. But we human beings want to cover behind whatever reasons possible. We don't want to fight. What does Lord Shri Krishna teach Arjuna? Lift your bow and arrow and shoot. 18 chapters is taken to make Arjuna fight that war. So isn't this war in our own world? This Kurukshetra, this body is the Kurukshetra, and there is Kshetra and Kshetrajna. And who is the Kshetrajna? That is Lord Shri Krishna. That is what you have to choose. Who do you want to choose, Maya or the Divine Lord? So when you choose the Divine Lord, He, drives the chariot for you, and the chariot is this body, the vehicle. He guides you on the righteous path and the destination. Please remember, I am the way, the path, and the destination. At the end of the day, He's the destination. That is all. So He's the one who's driving your chariot and showing in the right path. On the right path and to the destination, which is attaining Him alone. And one most important thing I have to tell you, no matter what happens in your life, please remember, your destination is already fixed. Why are you breaking your head? Oh, I don't know what's going to be my future. Your future is already predefined. It's the path that you choose that will open up at the right time. So you just have to walk that path blindly. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna gave this very powerful understanding to Arjuna, but yet Arjuna doesn't understand like us. What did Lord say? He showed him the Virat Swarup. Just because he can get that faith in Arjuna, so that he can get up and do his Swadharma and fight, lifting his bow and arrow and not telling, oh, how can I fight? And he's crying, cry baby. And and that time Lord shows him that, he says to Arjuna, look, all the enemies stand slain by me. I have already killed them. You just need to enact. This body has to perform those actions. It's all that those actions are already finished. It has been done. It has been already performed. So you're not going to kill anything, but you're just going to enact that part. And this is the truth. We don't get it. We think we are the doer. I am doing it. I am fighting the war. I am killing. That this I is your petty ego. Please understand, you are nothing but an instrument in the divine hands of the Divine Lord Almighty. That is the truth you need to understand. And when you understand this truth, you will be able to phobia anything in this world. Then you're not going to be afraid. This tolerance, that strength will come into you. That endurance, the power to endure will come to you. And nothing shall be for, nothing will deter you at all ever from on the path that you are in. You don't have to be afraid of anybody. This is the truth you need to understand. So why are you even afraid of anything or anyone? Don't. Just walk that path. You think, oh, what is going to happen to me? Where is money going to come? What am I going to do? How things are going to happen? My job, I have so much problem in the office, I don't know what to do. We are depressed people. 2 days we will be on the rise, and third day we'll be again back to square one. Don't do that. Understand this truth, what Lord Dattatreya is teaching. How do you get the forbearance? I gave you a little secret about what all things you need to do. You need to understand, then you will be able to have that virtue of forbearance, endurance. You will tolerate everything in this world. And when you are in that goodness, love, you will spread the joy. You will spread the beautiful fragrance of, champak, jasmine, like those flowers which selflessly spreads those fragrance for the divine Lord. Like that, you will become the beautiful fragrance of goodness, which love, everything which the Lord Sri Krishna stands for. He will adorn you around his neck. That is who you will become. So be that goodness, be the beautiful tool of the divine Lord. Spread the joy to everybody. That goodness is what is important. If somebody is behaving mean, you don't have to become mean. That is the teaching of spirituality. Spirituality is nothing but living being our good self, understanding that I am not this body. Why should we have ego? Have you seen the great divine Lord Almighty's, this masters? Take example of Narsimha Saraswati. We have done here Shripad Sri Vallabh, Lord Dattatreya. What is Dattatreya all about? Avaduta, ever free. And what is Lord Dattatreya said? In one of the chapter he says, the avatar of Dattatreya, who is an Avaduta, doesn't kill the enemies. He conquers the enemy. There is a huge difference between killing the enemy or killing the evil versus conquer over evil. That is the greatest battle you can ever win. Conquering evil. That is what you have to aim for. And when you are getting these teachings and when Lord Dattatreya is on your side, why are you worried about? That is the truth we need to understand. So be that earth. Have you ever imagined we are digging so much of gold, different things from Mother Earth. Has she ever said, oh, this is mine, don't take it, don't hurt me? Has she ever boycotted and said, no, how dare you do? And has she destroyed you people? No, she has not. She has been very compassionate. She forbears. How much injuries do we cause to Mother Earth? Have you ever imagined? We are such a selfish, greedy people in this world. We cause so much harm in this environment, to this universe. But we are ungrateful. We think it belongs to us. Please remember, we don't earn anything. We don't own anything. Everything is Mother Nature. She's the mother of this universe. Mother Nature, that is what it is. Everything belongs to Prakriti. She's the boss and you are taking everything from her and destroying. Please remember, when she reacts and then you don't know what hits you. And pandemic is one such example. Nobody knows what caused a pandemic. We can give reasons. But today we don't even understand how this is coming, and now it's not even stopping with that. There are 12 more new different kinds of strands have come, and it's even more deadly and dangerous. So what happens? Today can anybody go out? We're afraid to touch something. We're afraid to drink the water. We're so afraid today of everything. And that's what will happen beyond a point. So you need to be gracious. You need to be generous. Become that Mother Earth and be nice to everybody. Don't have to exploit anyone, and endure and be tolerant towards everybody. Be your good self. I think I've said the same thing in different ways and given you a few important lessons from Bhagavad Gita too. The reason I'm doing this is because these are very important for us to live. If we can live this one lesson, that's it, our life. You have already attained your spiritual being. There is nothing more than that for you to attain. And this is the gospel truth, let me tell you. So coming back, the earth bears with unmatched and unexcelled patience. What is she bearing with patience? She has so much patience. She doesn't react. She doesn't even react at all. All the injuries we inflict upon it, and furthermore, it does only good to us always by providing crops, fruits, etc. You name it. That is who we have to become. We have to become that Mother Earth, who ourselves are like this, always serving this universe selflessly. And that is what these great gurus do. Parabrahma, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. When the divine manifests, They live these lessons, and that is exactly what they impart to you. They set an example by becoming that. It looks after our very sustenance. Yeah, the mother nature looks after our sustenance. The earth is always giving us, providing for us. Our sustenance is taken care of in spite of our doing so much harm and injury to it. Despite how much harm we might have done, how much our hurt we might have caused it, injured it, we have caused injuries, but the mother is always kind. That is who the earth is. So earth, you remember, we also say Bhumi, Bhuma Devi, she is Mother Earth, the goddess Bhuma Devi she is. So we have to respect her, we have to revere her, and we have to live her lesson and become like her. I hope you understand this very beautiful lesson. Now I shall move to the next principal guru of Lord Dattatreya, and that is, oh my God, another profound one, water. The symbol of purity. What does it stand for? Symbol of purity. Water teaches us the quality of purity. Further, it cleanses and purifies whosoever and whatsoever comes into contact with it. Like water, we also should be ever pure, getting rid of lust, greed, anger, ego, jealousy, selfishness, and such unspiritual traits and demonic qualities, and should endeavor to exert a similar purifying influence on others too. Oh my God, I think I will take for the rest of 24 days to finish this satsang, looks like now. Water, the symbol of purity. Let us learn what it means. Water teaches us the quality of purity. Oh wow. What do we do? When we are very thirsty, we want to drink water. But will you drink the water if it is contaminated? Of course not. Like my Krishna Guruji will always give me an example. All of his disciples, one very beautiful example. There is bottle of Ganga water. You add just one small drop of potassium cyanide in that. What does that water become to you? It becomes poison. And after that, will you be able to drink? No, you can't. Similarly, our being, the innermost being, our heart and mind has to be pure like water. When everybody can drink. Drink means it is what you offer from your heart. The goodness, the love, that kindness, compassionate. And what is your Lord saying? What should you get rid of? Get rid of lust, greed, anger, ego, quality, jealousy, selfishness, and such unspiritual traits. Imagine your heart is contaminated with all these qualities. So where is the question of Lord being there? Where is the question of having that spiritual traits? You're all having unspiritual traits. And so tell me, how many in this universe can become spiritual? Hardly any. Because to become that highest perfectionist is very difficult. To have this level of perfection is not easy. So what is important? The grace of the Guru. Guru Bhakti and Guru Seva. When you have filled your heart and mind and entire being with Guru Bhakti, he will, he's like that, my Guruji will say, I am that acid wash person. I put acid and have that very tough wash so that I can remove all these demonic qualities that we have, all these impure nature that we carry with us. That is what the Guru does. The Guru is like that, Dhobi Ghat, where he literally beat you to pulp and wash you. It's not you physically. It's an inference to say he removes all this, your tendencies that comes from many lives, and then also because of your companies that you acquire in this life also. So what is important? Keeping the company of the sages and the saints. You have to always have association with the holy and divine being, so that your temperament, your qualities are always in the sattva guna. It's never get into rajasic or tamasic nature. That is why, there is a reason how it also matters what kind of food you eat. That also defines you. How you need to eat only sattvic food in moderation, and also be disciplined. Discipline is another very important point to have this purity, because without discipline you cannot get purity. Discipline is a must. You have to get up in the, in the Brahma Muhurtam. Why it is important? Sattva is on the high, and that time when you wake up, you have to either see the face of your Gurudev or his feet and wake up to the divine Lord Almighty. Your mind filled with his thoughts alone, and then the purification happens. See, these are all the methods. We think, oh God, I have to get up at 4 a.m. When the alarm goes, let me stop 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and the 10 minutes goes away. Brahma Muhurtam is gone, then you're fast asleep. Forget it. Where is Brahma? Then you will be waking up in, I don't know what other Muhurtam, where the tamas is on the rise. All the evil, the god of evil is all full-fledged. Mr. Mahishasur will be waiting for you to receive you with warm welcome, and then he'll only get into you. You'll say, go sleep some more, don't have to get up. What is that anyways you have to get up, sir? Go and sleep some more. We'll get up, brunch. That is why the concept of breakfast and lunch comes together. Brunch. We will have brunch. That this is the way we become tamasic in nature. So what should you not do? Don't become tamasic. Please remember, becoming tamasic is never going to help you. So what is important? Purity. How do you get purity? By practicing. Purity is a very beautiful quality. Water is pure. Isn't the water the property of purificatory? Like example, we use Ganga to purify our, not only just our being. We drink Ganga water. We sip few drops as a tirtha. Why? Because it is holy. Holy. Why it is holy? Because the lotus feet of the divine masters are dipped in her. That is why she becomes pure. And when we accept the holy feet, the water washed off the holy feet of such great sages and the saints, then we also attain the purity within us. See, people don't understand why they do. They think they're doing it for the heck of it. Just because some person has said something, they blindly follow. We have never asked a question. Why do we have to drink the water? Ganga, but one thing I have to say. In India, if you go, if you have gone to Banaras, Varanasi, or even Haridwar, Rishikesh, everybody will come there and dip themselves, and no matter how dirty that water is, they will still take it to drink. Why? Because this is what their belief is. Oh, my sins have to be absolved. So what? It's like they will go commit sins, and somewhere they have to redeem their sins, right? So they'll do all of these things. Yeah, in a way that helps. But if you don't have the purity, doesn't mean that it is a ticket for you to create more sins. No, it is not. But when you go and accept it with faith, then that purification happens. And a lot of people will want to come and they say, once you're dead, your hasti is come and immersed in Ganga, because they believe that's when you attain moksha. Why do you attain moksha? Because the holy feet of all the sages and the saints are dipped there. Har Ki Pauri, where Lord Sri Krishna, Hari, left his feet over there for Brahma Dev, because he worshipped. There's a beautiful story on that, but right now I'm not going to go in that deviation, because we need to first understand the truth about who water is. I'll tell you a very beautiful lesson or an experience which I got directly with respect to water. Standing in Haridwar, this powerful lesson from Lord Dattatreya right at that moment. I've narrated this story, but I will once again tell you. This was the first time when I went, I think I keep getting confused, first or second time. One of the times when I went to Haridwar with my Gurudev, and we go and sit exactly in the same place when my Guru with my Guruji, where my Gurudev had this 5 or 7 days of conversation with his Gurudev. He was literally sitting there from morning till night, dipped his feet in a chilled water and having this very interesting debate with his Gurudev. And so for us it's a very sacred and very holy place, because my Guruji and both my Gurudevs are sitting there. They have sat there, and even today when I go there and worship, he's definitely there. See, Dattatreya is there anywhere. You can manifest him wherever you want with that highest devotion. Like last night, today is my Guruji's my Guruji's body's birthday. So last night his Gurudev came to wish him. How sweet is that? Just like that. So he's Avaduta. He's ever there. You have to call with your pure pure heart and pure bhakti. When you call him with devotion, he appears to you in whatever form he wants to. And at that moment in time, we were standing, and my Guruji was telling this is the place I was having this conversation and everything. And standing in Ganga water and looking at the depth, that profound depth. It's like Athanga Sagar, limitless. You cannot know where she begins, where she ends. Yeah, they all merge in the ocean. Have you seen the ocean, which is Athanga Sagar? You cannot fathom the depth that it has, or you cannot measure the breadth. It's limitless. Like that, they accommodate everything. So I was standing there and wondering, and then something, I don't know how to actually narrate my experience adequately in the words, but I'll try to best of my ability. I will definitely try. So over there, what happened is there's some kind of the bubble, the ocean is boiling, like the bubble is happening, and when tsunami is going to come, the ocean, it's kind of, everything goes like this, and there's this bubble happening, something, this churning happening within that, and something is going to burst out. So similar was my experience. I'm standing there, and Lord Dattatreya was like, it was like that whole Ganga is like so deep, and it's churning itself, something to that effect. And then he was giving me this lesson. The lesson is there. See, you have to become this limitless, just like Ganga. We have to just flow a path. We have to just flow through that path. When the path is already there, you just go with the flow. We are not going against the current. You have to go with the current. But please remember, in spiritual, we say we are walking against the current because you are doing the uphill climb. But please remember, over there, the Guru is there to guide you and hand hold you, and he'll always say, here's a pitfall, here's a pitfall, but we have to tread it very carefully, because though that is called Maya, the dangers that exist on the path, and you have to face those dangers and overcome them with your spiritual strength. And so the Lord was giving, and in that different things were going. Some people had put, we do in India, we do Ganga Aarti, and everybody believes you have to keep it. They want their wish to be fulfilled. They'll come and worship Ma Ganga and say, please fulfill my wish. They'll light the lamps and everything. They'll put everything in her. Imagine how much contamination we caused. You be that Ganga for one day, and imagine everybody's pouring milk in you. They're doing all, you will get so irritated. I'm like, can you stop? She wants to scream. But what can she do? But that is her purpose. Isn't she so beautifully serving her purpose? And that is why, again, there's one more story going to get weaved. And this story I'm not going to tell, but I think I've narrated enough. They go to Kukutswami's ashram to get purified. So every night, these three Devis, that is Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati, will go to Kukutswami's ashram. I'm just giving an example of Kukutswami, but any Swami, the divine master, whoever are there, they will go to the ashram and they will do the seva of the Gurudev, so that all these sins that they are carrying, that muck and dirt, everything can be absolved, and then they become that pure being the next morning and go back again to serve the world. So what does that mean? The story is given to understand only when the great divine masters, the true divine beings, dip their holy feet in Ganga does she get purified, and she is ever serving us, because that is what has been ordained for her. But has she ever complained? But the water is pure. Ganga is ever pure. She's always pure. You know why? Because all the saints dip their holy feet in her. Right from Lord, everybody, whether any god on this planet, or the entire, all the gods and goddesses. And please remember, Ganga is rest in under the feet of Lord Shri Krishna. So wherever the divine beings are, she is right, and under their feet. She is right there. She hides there. That's a different story. I can keep this stories keep weaving within itself. But let's not lose the main thread of the story. The main thread of the story here, rather the teaching here, is that you have to become such a pure being. Accept everybody. Remove all this muck that is there. What are the muck? Anger, ego, jealousy. What else is there? We have lust, greed. Get rid of all that and become that pure. Purity is what you have to have. Without purity of mind, purity of heart, surrender unto the lotus feet of the Guru, you cannot attain your spiritual will, come what may. Please remember this truth. So you have to purify yourself. So become that water who can quench the thirst of millions and billions in this world. What does it mean? Isn't everything telling you that you have to become that one who can selflessly serve this universe? You have to serve the purpose of the divine Lord. This body is not given just to satisfy your sensual enjoyments. Give it to your palates, give it to your insatiable desires and greed. It is not for your sensual enjoyment, sensual pleasures. It is not for titillating your senses. This body is given only for two important purposes. The purpose of the human birth. One is for God realization, and second is to do your swadharma. One is to attain dharma, and second is to do swadharma, the purpose of your birth. This is the most important thing that we fail to understand. And what do we think? Oh, my duty is to serve my husband, wife, children, my mother, father. We are cocooned in our world. We cannot even see beyond our nose. We are not doing anything. There's no service to mankind we are doing. See, the most important aspect of spirituality is to serve this universe. In whatever capacity possible, the path will open for you. So you have to become the tool of the divine Lord who is going to serve in this universe. So if you are getting this knowledge, please impart this knowledge to the chosen ones. It is the duty, that is what the service you will do to the divine Lord. You think this knowledge is coming to me just like that? No, I am just a tool. I have no knowledge. I will tell you this. The only one who has the knowledge is Lord Shri Krishna. He chooses his tools to, work through them. The words are of his wisdom. I myself have no knowledge. I didn't know who a guru meant. What are the scriptures? Even Bhagavad Gita, beyond what I have watched this body, in TV, Mahabharata, beyond that, it didn't have any understanding. It's only after I met my Guruji, my Guru founded me, then this knowledge came to me. And I will not say it's my knowledge. That is the divine knowledge. It is a universal knowledge. It is only given to understand the truth about life so that we serve our purpose. We are here with a purpose. We are not here to just waste our life doing nothing. And like my Krishna Guruji will say, in the Tamasic Yuga, 50% of our life is spent sleeping. And the rest 30% is spent doing all the frivolous stuff. And hardly 10% or 20% maximum will put some effort to do something. These days we don't even want to work. We'll keep procrastinating. We don't want to work. We don't want to do things. We want to keep blaming the world. But that's what my Guruji says. I need that one who can just be that one who will do everything that which I'm telling you. And why? Because we're not able to overcome our mind. And that is where you have to put arduous effort. What does Baba say? In Sai Baba has said, you have to put extraordinary effort, arduous effort, and do your extreme spiritual sadhana, without which you cannot ever evolve on path of spirituality. This purification process will not happen. See, it's very nice to understand what does water represent. Symbol of purity, very simple in words, but what does that inner meaning mean? I'm going to read this once again. Water teaches us the quality of purity, further it cleanses and purifies whosoever and whatsoever comes into contact with it. So what does it mean? See, if somebody is coming in contact with me as a thing, what did I say? We have to spread the fragrance of goodness, holiness. That is what they have to get from me. On the contrary, it shouldn't be that they influence their bad quality on me. I shouldn't become tamasic in nature. If somebody is given into lust and greed, I should not become like that lusty and greedy person. That is not what I have to adopt. On the contrary, I have to be the one who can influence these good qualities. But if I first don't get myself, if I don't practice it, how will I be able to give to others? So first, that is the whole point I'm coming back to. First, I have to empower myself, empower the divine being within me, understand that I am not this body. This is not my true nature. My true nature is very beautiful. That is what I'm describing here. These are all the qualities of unspiritual traits. My spiritual trait, my true nature is full of that self. I remember I told you this beautiful lesson which Agastya Muni gave to his disciple Devi Ma. So I have narrated about this story, but once again I'm narrating. So when she was here, she was giving her own experience of her spiritual sadhana. What are the challenges she has gone through? And in that she said once her Gurudev told her to do meditation. She was trying really hard. She was sitting trying to do meditation, but her mind kept coming so strong and she was not able to. One month she tried and she completely failed. And then finally her Gurudev appeared. She said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Gurudev, I am unable to overcome my mind. I am not able to do." Then you know what he said to her? Who's asking your mind to meditate? I am telling you. So what does that mean? And then it hit her. I am telling the divine self of you. I am not asking your mind to meditate. So mind cannot meditate. The meditation, when you do meditate, you are in the meditative state, you will not even know that you are meditating. But if you should, like my Guruji will say, Om, 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 we are doing, you know your mind is, where is the question of meditation? There is no meditation happening. And she said, that is when it hit me. Be yourself. What is yourself? The nature of yourself is goodness, love, purity. Purity, that is what is there in yourself. So you have to always be that divine self, the higher self is what we are talking about. And what are the qualities mentioned here which we have to overcome? That is the lower self. And that is what your Lord Dattatreya is saying, that we should get rid of our lust, greed, ego, anger, jealousy, selfishness, and such means there are many more unspiritual traits and demonic qualities. Oh my God, what did I say? Devi Mahatmyam. Why does the Devi have so many hands and weapons? So that she can kill all these demons who are not anywhere outside. They are all within us. So you have to use all the Ashtra Shastras and kill. You are the Devi. Your Mahatmyam has to happen. People should sing your glories. So empower the goddess within you, the God within you, and destroy all these demonic propensities. And then you will become the purity, pure like water. And what is said? And should endeavor to exert a similar purifying influence on others too. Most important. What is Lord Dattatreya saying here? It's not just you have to achieve, don't be selfish. Oh, only I have to become good, I have to become pure. No. And after that, you have to pass on this. You have to exert a similar purifying influence on others too. Exert means what? You have to wear yourself. You have to put a lot of effort in other people also and to purify them. The similar purifying that you're going through that guidance, however they want to get, make it happen through you. So you have to do that. It's not just saying, okay, I have achieved, okay, I'm not now going to do anything. Let them go to, this we say, khadde mein jaye, sorry. In Hindi we say this. It means go in the ditch, let the other person go in the ditch. No, you can't say that. You have to actually take that person out of the ditch. And what is he saying? You have to exert yourself, exert a similar purifying influence, exert a similar purifying influence on others too. Like my Krishna Guruji, like all these great masters are doing, like Lord Dattatreya is doing here by imparting this knowledge. How do they exert? They are exerting a similar purifying influence by constantly teaching the same thing over and over and over again, a million, billion, trillion times. And does it enter our dull brain? And then again we'll ask the same question, and Guruji very patiently will again explain the same thing. Is there anything else he is explaining in all of the scriptures that we are doing in so many satsang? What is the one thing we need to understand? Being our good self. Good self is what? Be kind, compassionate, loving, generous, all this. But what happens? The moment your mind comes, it's gone out of the window. But that is the firmness you have to attain. Be that water, that Athanga Sagar, where you can accommodate this entire universe. Your heart, my Guruji will say, your heart has to big-heartedness. It has to open up for everybody. You have to welcome everybody. See, there can be all sorts of people. Like, in one of the chapters in Guru Charitra, there are thieves are going to come. A lot of people with demonic propensity also will come. Evil people will come. Can the Gurudev say, no, I don't want them? No. He will just, everybody is welcome to a temple. But what they do with their life is he cannot change. That is as per their karma. But he can only teach good to everybody. And that is why he doesn't want a lot of people coming with a begging bowl. So he becomes invisible to many people. Because people then get into this demonic nature. What they get into? Lust and greed. They want too many things to be fulfilled for them. So they come with all wrong asks. And please remember, the masters themselves are not going to do anything. Their Ashtasiddhis are saying Tatastu. So be careful about what you ask from these divine beings. So they are only interested in the true spiritual aspirants. So there are only handful. For rest of them, they are only, removing their grievance. They are only giving them redressal. By what? What all their grievances are redressed. That is what the great masters do. So Please remember, they are the ocean of knowledge. They are knowledge incarnate. They have lot of these priceless gems with them, the gems of knowledge, and that is what you have to take. And your goal has to be to become them. Become means you cannot replace them. Please remember, don't think that I will take my position of my Guruji. No, 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 not that. You have to become like them, like emulate their qualities. That is what you have to imbibe. So with this, we will stop here with water and let's continue the rest of the principal gurus. I know there's a lot, but we'll try to finish faster. Okay, I'll let you know tomorrow. Most likely my satsang will be at 9:15. If there is any change, I will let you know. So thank you for joining Shri Guru Charitra Satsang. Wishing you all a very happy Monday once again. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha. Om Shri Gurudev Datta. Om Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Digambara Digambara Shripad Vallabha Digambara. Om Shri Krishna Guru Nathanatha Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Devi Durgaya Namaha. Om Shri Krishna Arpanam Namastu. Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru.